So where we're standing now is the feature that we're referring to as the linear park. So this whole area gets greened up in the future. The disabled bays will go, the road width closes right down, and we've got a much narrower but still very capable footpath running the length of this space. There's more grass to go in. On this side we've got a mixture of wildflower mix and normal turf that get mowed into strips, and there are more trees to add, so this becomes much more of a tree-lined boulevard leading up to the building. The path then takes you slightly across to the right, so as we move in, the plywood opening on your right hand side here will be the main entrance for most members of support services staff, visitors to the building. Okay, so this front elevation, everything that's grey at the moment will be covered in bronze cladding, so it will look exactly like that building over there. Initially it goes on, it looks like bright copper. It dulls down, as you know now, from that building, and over the space of the 2 years that's what it's mellowed down to. The rooms at the front on the ground floor with all the floor to ceiling glass are the 3 multi-purpose rooms that can be opened up together as one space or closed off. The glazing above that is the college staff room. The glazing in the top right corner there is the end of the boardroom, or the large meeting room at first floor level. We're going to be going in on the bottom left corner, which is the main stairwell. So that's the route that most staff will take to get up to first floor level. There's also a lift in that corner of the building, and that lift is not only for disabled access, but is also used for evacuation in the event of fire. Okay, thank you. So we'll head on in. Is college. It's been designed in 3 distinct blocks, so one for each of the cohorts, MSI, SLB, ASD. Each has its own entrance. There are shared mobility stores in there, individual teaching spaces, main classrooms, and then specialist teaching rooms and sensory rooms as well. We'll leave that for another day, but that's where it is, and students will access that from this direction, from the drop-off area. Students from the housing site, we've created a new road at the very far end where the energy centre is. So the road used to be this side of the energy centre, we've moved it the other side of the energy centre, so there's now a safe pedestrian route to be able to get through. Students will take a footpath on this side of the building and across where the 2 wide cabins are stacked to get into the dining hall. So we're now in the main reception area. Main entrance doors will lead into an airlock, a little bit like they do in the modern foundation buildings. There'll be an outer pair of sliding doors, an inner set of sliding doors before you come into the reception area proper. The reception counter sits here in front of me. This is a waiting area. Behind us, the donor wall. So those who are involved, that's where the donor signs will go. We've got the 2-storey atrium space, so the wraparound from this point on is part of the cafe that will serve students, staff and visitors. To this side, to the north of where we are, is by and large for sports accommodation. Beyond the blue partition there is all college at the very far end, and then above us you can see the landing and these bridge links that take you from the stairwell and the college staff side of first floor level into the open plan office, which is the space you're most interested in. But while we're here, we'll just have a quick look around some of the major spaces. So on this side of me, we've got a small meeting room. We've got a couple of storerooms. We've got one of which is a cleaner store and a disabled toilet. Over on the far side, right at the very far end on the right hand side, is a cluster of toilets, and the second door back this way is a door into the medical room. So if we now look at this open space here, there's a wall missing from this area. This is part of the active accommodation. This is the sensory integration room. So this will have wall-to-wall floor padding, wall padding at the door head height, and a steel frame hanging down below the ceiling level. And that frame will have 65 fixing points on it, where the therapy team will be able to clip cargo netting, swings, ropes, anything else they want to in a whole variety of combinations for therapy reasons. On the left-hand side are the 3 multi-purpose rooms. So these have sliding partitions or sliding screens between them. You can see the track up here. Of one area in one me. So these are full height screens, they break down into panels and they get pushed back on the track and fit into 2 cupboards here, and the same again on the other side. So this can be subdivided into 3 equal sized rooms, 2 unequal rooms, or 1 large open plan space like this. It has a strong timber floor, just like the Moulding Foundation building hall, which is great for dams, all sorts of exercise activities, and is set out for a whole variety of uses, whether that be training, meetings, multi-purpose. Okay, so sports hall. The blockwork wall facing me is the climbing wall, essentially. There's a climbing wall gets built in front of it, and it's carried on those bits of steel that we get out. It is the full height of that wall and virtually the full length of it. Mark's just reminded me just to mention to you that the people who are designing and building this built the last Olympic climbing wall. They're also building the next Paralympic climbing wall. So a lot of what they learn from this job will go into Paralympics, but equally they're feeding back the other way. And one of the things that they've just developed, we don't know whether we will be able to have one, but we're hoping to work on them and persuade them to be a bit generous. They have what are called auto belays, and we'll be ordering some of those, where a student can essentially attach themselves on and they can use the climbing wall perfectly safely. If they fall off, it just gently lowers them back down to the ground. But in this particular instance, this company have made a version of that that gives positive assistance. So it's a little bit like an electric bicycle, where for a minimal amount of effort, you actually get assistance. The wall has a whole variety of holds and climbing holds that offer different textures for therapeutic as much as climbing reasons. So there's a whole sensory experience there. And the whole surface of the climbing wall will be backed by a lighting system, specially designed where the lights shine through a bolt in the centre of each handhold fixing. The beam that sits in front of the wall will have 9 more fixing points on it. The central one will contain a giant pendulum swing, so we'll be able to do huge swinging arcs in this room. There's also the opportunity for other hoists and other equipment to go either side of it. There's a basketball net to go at either end. The floor's marked out for a badminton court on that side, a bocce court on this side, and there's a separation net so that you can use both sides for different reasons simultaneously. We've got rebound surfacing at low level up to the top of this metal stud-work. Above that, we've got a stretched fabric backed by acoustic absorption material, so should have really good control of the acoustics in this space. What you see now as the underside of the roof will actually be the exposed ceiling. You can see it's perforated, a little pattern of little holes, that's for acoustic absorption as well. In the fitness room, so gym equipment in here. The equipment's going to be lined up against the north wall, across the window wall, and down on the western wall. Where you're standing at the moment is where the free weights area of mats will be. There are screens to go up on this wall information screen and a TV screen, and then an island of equipment in the centre as well, with a 2-tone floor, so students can make out the different areas of equipment behind this wall in the changing building. And those who are familiar with the one in the Moulding Foundation building, the pools, similar kind of thing, a bit smaller, but same sort of thing. Cubicle systems, there's an assistant changing area, assistant shower, assistant toilet, and then a whole number of standard changing facilities, showers and toilets as well. So a bit like the reception desk on the other side, you've got the cafe server here, so at the far end you've got a prep area and a wash area. You've got servery, a drink station, a barista bar if you like in the centre, and a cashier's point at this area here, and then refrigerated display facing out into the main wraparound cafe seating area. Dedicated storeroom at the back and more seating here, with sliding doors to the outside space and out to college there, and the powered doors back into the main college there. Now as you look down the corridor, you're beginning to get some sense of the scale of that building. So the area you're entering is the college staff room, divided into two loose areas. You've got a work end at this end and a social end at the other, with its own brew station down in the back left corner. Two more 8-person meeting rooms here, both of them accessible from both sides, from the landing and from the staff room. And so from here we'll go around, we'll have a quick look at the boardroom, and then we'll move across to the open plan office. So this is the boardroom, or large meeting room. So this will accommodate at least 26 people around one desk. It can be used for departmental meetings and a whole variety of things. There'll be quite a bit of technology to go into this room that we're just starting to get into the details of discussing, but essentially seating at that end, screens on all the wall surfaces that you see, and the brew station along this wall. So this is what we refer to as the open plan office. Two entrances into it, the one we've just come in over the bridge link there, another one at that end. On the wall behind you are 5 glazed sections of wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Central section is another brew station with hot boiling taps, number of taps, dishwasher, fridge, etc. in that central island. At the bottom end there, you can see a wall that's slightly buff coloured, yellow coloured with an exit sign on it. You can see there's a large opening in that. That will be a glazed screen with a glazed door. And that will be part of the open plan office, but a separate work area for 10 people there to work in slightly different configuration and a slightly more controlled environment at that end. At this end, we've got more social space down here. Workstations beyond. On the left hand side we've got the IT workshop and we've got the main server rooms. The far end, the very far corner, is the means of escape. That will take you out, round the corner behind that wall and down the staircase that I referred to earlier on that brings you out in the corner. This room will be this height. This is what you will see. All the screws and things will be cleaned and tidied up, but this is fundamentally what you'll see. But there are lots of baffles, vertical boards effectively that hang down from the ceiling. I've got samples of it in the meeting room for you to have a look at, that are acoustic absorption panels. Every desk in here at the moment is going to have 2 screens mounted on a central column. That each screen set will have a cable that comes up onto desktop. You plug your laptop into that and it both charges it and gives you connection to the screens. Each desk will have task lighting, and the task lighting we're looking at the moment is dimmable and colour changeable. So those who prefer bluer light can get it, those who prefer warmer light can get it. They can dim it, they can brighten it, which means that the general background levels of light we can control much more easily. Not all of the building has this, but this particular room does. This is full air conditioned mode so that you've got control over heat and cooling in this space.